unit, you have learned everything that you need to learn about solving equations, okay? I am not going to teach you any sort of crazy equation strategy. Like, we've learned all that we need to, okay? But what we're going to do today is look at setting up an equation to solve, okay? So I want you to look at this picture. What geometric figure is this? It is a rectangle, okay? There are a lot of different things I can ask you to do with the rectangle. I could ask you to find its area, find its perimeter, find its diagonal. I don't know. Some other things, I guess. But this problem right here is telling you that the area is 63 square feet. And our job is to find the measure of M. So here's M right here. We want to know how long M is, okay? So let's talk about area. How do you find the area of a rectangle? Multiply what? Okay. Okay, so we need to multiply the long side and the short side. Okay, so area equals length times width, like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to figure out, okay, what's the area, what's the length, what's the width. So we know that our area is 63, correct? Okay. Okay, now Matthew said we need to multiply the two sides together. So length times width, those are our two sides. So let's go with the easy one first. How long is this side right here? This side has a length of 7. Okay. How long is the other side? This side right here that I highlighted in purple. This is 4, this chunk, and this is M. If I want to know the entire chunk, what would we do with 4 and M to get this entire measure? What'd you say? So, let me ask you this question. If I am 5 feet 2 inches and Matthew is 5 foot 6 inches, if I stand on Matthew's head, what are you going to do with our heights to figure out how tall we are? We would add, right? We would be 10 feet 7 inches together, right? Okay. Matthew, Miss Homan. What are we going to do with 4 and M? We're going to add them, okay? Matthew, I don't know how to tell you. Now, since we have to add 4 and M together, I'm going to put those in parentheses so that we can multiply by 7. Okay? So what I want you to write right here is 63 equals 7 times 4 plus M. Okay? Do you have a question as to where we got any of that? 63 we got from where? 63 was the area. They gave that to us. Okay? Why did we write 7 times 4 plus M? Okay? Those are the two sides, right? We have the height. We have the length. We multiply those together. Now, when we multiply and we have something that's being added or subtracted, we have to put that in parentheses. Okay? So, that is the new piece of today. Because now, do we know how to solve that? You betcha. Okay? What is our first job to solve this? We need to distribute first. Okay? So we have 63 equals 7 times 4 is 28 plus 7m, because we have 7 times m. All right. It's actually kind of nice now, isn't it? What's our next step? We need to minus 28. We need to undo the addition by subtracting 28. So those go away, and we have 7m equals, 35? Oh. Without a calculator, I love it. Okay. Landon with a no, what's our last step? How do we get m by itself? Good, we need to undo our multiplication by dividing by 7. So we get m equals 5. But that is not all I want. Because what does m represent? Measurement, go back and read it. Measure of m in feet. Do you see this right here? The measure of m in feet. So I want you to write 5 feet. Okay. How do you feel about that? Okay. Do you have a question about where any of those numbers came from? Okay. We're going to skip 2, come back to it later. We're going to look at number 3. Okay, so we're going to go back to what we did at the very start of this unit. Reading a sentence and writing down what it means mathematically. So first, I want you to just read number 3. The product of a number x and 15 is equal to 2 more than the product of a number x and 4. Okay, there's a lot going on there. Let's just go piece by piece. Okay, also I see this word right here, equal, right? So I'm going to write an equal sign right there. And we're going to have to put things on both sides. Okay, the product of a number x and 15. So I'm going to have the product of a number x and 15. Product means what?
Answer for multiplication.
Answer for multiplication. So I'm going to put a little multiply sign there, okay, as a little reminder. Okay, so I know that I need to take x times 15. Are you okay if I write that as 15 times x instead? It'll just look kind of nicer. If you write x times 15, I'm not going to be upset. But 15x looks a little nicer. Okay, is equal to 2 more than. What kind of operation are we talking about there? 2 more than. More than. What operation? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Yeah, we're adding. 2 more than the product of a number and x. So product, again, means multiplication. Okay? So I want you to think about this right side and how it needs to look. While I fill up my water. Okay? So 2 more than the product of a number and 4 means we're going to take 2 more than 4x. Why did I write it like that? Does it bother you that I wrote it like that? 2 plus 4x and 4x plus 2 mean the same thing, so it's okay either way. But we're going to see something later when we say a number more than, a number less than, subtracted from. Those are kind of those turnaround sentences that we talked about a few weeks ago where things just end up being a little backwards. Okay? Now, I will say for these problems right here, I will not make you solve the equation. Okay? All right, so let's look at number 4. 1 less than 3 times the number x is equal to 12 more than negative 8 times the number x. There's a lot going on. I really like to find the word equal first and put my equal sign there. And now I can kind of split it into 2 parts. Okay. Let's read the first part of the sentence. 1 less than 3 times the number and x. So 1 less than means that we are going to need to subtract 1. 3 times a number x means multiply. Okay? But this is one of those weird things. 1 less than 3 times x means we have to write 3x minus 1. 1 less than 3x means that we have to write it backwards than it's actually written. Okay? And this one, it does matter. Subtraction can't just be rewritten one first or the other. Okay. 12 more than negative 8 times the number x. 12 more than, so that means we're adding 12. Negative 8 times the number x. Okay. Again, we're doing times. Okay, this one, it doesn't matter how you write it, but since we have that 12 more than, kind of like the 1 less than, I'm going to write it just so we get in the habit, negative 8 times x, and then we're going to add 12 to it. Okay. What we're going to do, we're going to skip the next few problems, and we're going to go to the back side and look at example 4. Okay, my goal is for us to have a good chunk of time to work on our assignment in class. That way, I can help answer some questions and work through some issues. Okay? Thursday and Friday are going to be review days for our CSA, and I want to make sure that by the time we get to Monday, Tuesday, man, we are good to go with solving equations, okay? So, at the very top, you see that there's 2 pictures of triangles. And up here it says the total degrees of the angles of a triangle add up to, what do they add up to? 180. Whoever said that, thank you. So 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Please write that down. So if I ever give you a problem where it says, hey, here's 3 angles of a triangle, we know that the 3 angles add up to equal 180. Okay. So when we look at this picture over here, we have angle 1 is x, angle 2 is x plus 10, and angle 3 is x plus 5. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take those 3 angles, and we know that their sum is 180. So we know that x plus 10 plus x plus 5 equals 180. Angle 1, nope, that's not the right color. Angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 180. Make sure you have that equation written down for me. Okay, we took our 3 angles and we added them to equal 180. Do you have a question about how I did that? Okay, now we get to solve the equation. And it's actually like kind of a nice equation to solve once we do the first step. What do we need to do first? What'd you say? Yeah, we have like terms to combine. So we have x plus x plus x. We also have 10 plus 5, right? So x plus x would give us 3x, and then 10 plus 5 would give us 15. So we really have 3x plus 15 equals 180. And now we have something that's really kind of nice to solve. Okay, let's get x by itself. Let's solve for x. What do we do first? Jacob Tanner, what number do we move? 15. Let's subtract 15 to both sides. Three x equals 165. Sorry, I gotta squish that in there. Took up too much room. All right, my last step is to divide by 3. So that x equals 55. Okay, so here I have 55 right here. Okay, now, not only are we looking for x, but we also want to know what these 3 angles are. So, like angle 1, we know is x. And angle 2, we know is x plus 10. And angle 3, we know is x plus 5. Okay? So if x is 55, what do we know about angle 1? It's what? It's 55 degrees. Okay? Okay. If x is 55 and angle 2 is x plus 10, x plus 10 would give us 65 degrees. If x is 55 and angle 3 is x plus 5, what's angle 3? Angle 3 is 60. Okay, we're just going to plug those back in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and guess somebody's on the roof. What do you think? I think somebody's up there. Okay. Now, example 5 looks exactly like number 4. Example 6 is a little different because it's asking for it gives you the perimeter of this garden. So I'm just going to make a little note that our perimeter means add up all the sides. Okay. So this is your job. Your job